Right. Okay, so let's talk about school. Not to attack it, not to blame it, but to see through the systems. Because if you can't see through it, then you can't even know when it's controlling you. And I'm talking about the system. School did not teach you how to think. This is the unfortunate truth that is out there. And in case you didn't know, good morning. Wake up to the fact that school did not train you to think. School taught you to remember and repeat stuff, to cram. And that's what many systems, school systems, are trying to look like. They are changing that, but it's still the same stuff. I just want you to sit with that. That you were rewarded for compliance, not curiosity. You were praised for doing what you were told to do, not for discovering something new and that was true and coming up with an invention, something that would change other people's lives. No. And that was not an accident. That was actually the way systems are supposed to work. Because the modern school system was designed during the industrial age, a time when the goal was not to create thinkers. The goal was to manufacture factory workers, people who are predictable. You place them wherever you place them, you find them there doing what you told them to do. Not talking to the neighbor, focus on your work. That's why in the school system, you hear about monitors. You monitor those that play outside the box and they want to make noise. Maybe you are monitoring, and you are rewarded for being the most monitor that you could be. It's a system. And so it's cut out to bring out predictable people that are efficient, people that are obedient. You're just obedient. You're just obedient to the system. Now think about the structure. You sit down, you sit in rows, you raise your hand for permission to speak, and you memorize information that has already been chosen for you to memorize. And the person at the front, the teacher, is the authority, not because they know the truth. No, because the system says they are. and the system says they do know the truth. And if you question the lesson, hey, you are disruptive. If you think differently, you are a difficult child. And some of us were labeled as difficult children because we just questioned everything, and we just felt like everything was not adding up to a normal thought process. So if you learn in your own unique way, you are labeled as behind, slow, or even mentally challenged. You are not following, you're not applying. You don't, in fact, it's the smartest kids that have been labeled outcasts in the school system that we throw out, the genius of this world. Because the genius know at the core something that's not working from the beginning. And we are taking a whole generation of people, we are blind to a system that doesn't work. And marinating doesn't help. Putting icing on the sugar, on the cake, doesn't make the cake healthy. So, what do we learn? What did you learn from that system? Not knowledge, identity. You learned to wait for permission. You feared to be wrong. You sought approval. And you feel unsafe when you stand out. Difference means unsafety. If you're different, you are unsafe. So you learned to trade your authenticity for belonging. You learned to give away your authentic power. And some of us, we've got labels. You gave yourself a label. I am not good enough because of that, because of the system. And this is why so many adults today, they know what they want, but they can't take action. They have great ideas, but they stay quiet. They feel called to something big, but they hesitate. I don't blame you. I totally blame the system. It's not lack of intelligence. It's conditioning, my friend. You've been conditioned. You've been wired. You've been wired for survival. Your body learned, if I choose myself, I'll lose belonging. If I choose myself, I'll lose belonging. I'll lose community. And who wants to lose community? Because belonging is survival. You learn that belonging is survival. So understand this. Your avoidance of risk is not laziness. Your hesitation is not weakness. Your procrastination is not lack of discipline, like many people think. It is your nervous system protecting you based on an outdated information that it got from your upbringing. So, let's release the shame. The shame around all that. You did not fail. I can't call it failure. You are adapted to survive. You survived and you are here. Bravo, congratulations. And maybe you've achieved some goals. But deep inside, because of the way the system has conditioned you to always hesitate and hold back, you are now unfulfilled. But listen, you are no longer that little child in a system of control. You're now a grown-up. I'm talking to a grown-up. I'm talking to someone that is grown in mind, spirit, and body. So here's the awakening question for you in this session today. And because I'm doing a series of sessions before we do our monthly reset on the 25th of November. The question is this: what would you learn if no one was watching you? What would you learn? Who would you become if no one graded you? And I want you to just pause with that, because that's a deep question. It's a coaching question. What would you learn if no one is watching you? Who would you become if no one graded you? I want you to pause and just reflect on that. Take a deep breath. Your mind is ready for change. Your mind is ready for redemption, for you to redeem it from the systems. Your curiosity is awake again. Your voice is ready to be rebirthed. You are allowed to learn from direct experience, from your intuition, from your spirit, and from your life. This is what real education looks like. Everything you need is within you. And if you feel something is beginning to unlock inside of you right now as we speak, as we have this conversation, I want to tell you, you're beginning to remember. You're beginning to arise. You're beginning to quiet that sense of wanting to please the world and getting lost in the maze. You are beginning to wake up. And so the next step is to regain full control of your nervous system, so your body can feel safe once again, safe to love, safe to make money, safe to be all that you are created to be. Remember, on the November 25th, we are gathering for a nervous system reset. Please don't miss it. There's a number shared under this post. I want you to reach out to my admin and register, because we are not holding back and we are not leaving anyone. We are not leaving anyone. I'm doing monthly reset, and for the month of November, it's about release. To release the fear of standing out, to unlearn the obedience patterns, to restore your inner authority, and take back your sovereignty. You're ready, and the time is now. If you're ready, I want you to type down there, root, hashtag root, because we are rooting ourselves in truth and uprooting ourselves from all the falsehood that we've gone through so far. This is where you take back your power. This is where you take back your mind. Are you ready? Are you ready? If you're ready, I want you to type down there, root, and I will see you at Reset, November 2025. It'll be 7 p.m. on Zoom, where we're going to go through a deep healing reset of your nervous system. It's time. We can no longer blame the system. We are now adults. We can find our healing. And I'm here as your teacher, your coach, and your mentor. Please register, and I will see you there.